I've been lucky enough to play and review hundreds of VR games. Here's my absolute top 10 games, as of early 2018. Number 10. Vanishing Realms is an immersive, if short, RPG. It's possibly the oldest game on this list. The graphics are definitely simpler than most and perhaps a little dated, but the whole experience is so elegantly designed that this game continues to be one of my favorites. You start the game quite helpless, but it grants you new abilities and weapons at a perfect pace. So when you pick up your first sword, or first bow and arrow, it feels like a real accomplishment. The combat isn't just a bunch of random swinging or button mashing, it's slow and intentional, so when you block or swing, it's all calculated. After you beat it once, you can enable the Warrior's Way mode, which will make all of the combat much more aggressive. Every so often I enjoy playing this all over again from the start, and it's one of the few that I've tried to collect every item and gain every achievement. It's a classic. Number 9. New Retro Arcade Neon is a virtual arcade room. At its core, it's basically a VR interface for emulators. But whenever I step into this, I feel as though I'm enjoying the ultimate private man cave. Often before going to bed, or just to kill a few minutes, I'll casually play a few arcade games, and it really satisfies my lifelong fantasy to have an arcade basement or garage. It will require a lot of setup from you, as it doesn't come with any ROMs at all. But it comes with a nice setup program for you to customize everything to your liking. You can also find some great pre-built arcade rooms online that you can download and copy over for you to continue customizing. One gotcha is that using the Vive wands to play the arcade games themselves is kind of awkward. After you fire up an arcade machine, you can use the two touchpads as buttons, and they get the job done, but it's not great. I've since gotten the Steam wireless gamepad, and that works a lot better. After using the wands to move around, I'll switch to the gamepad to actually play the games. And fortunately, the fanny pack I used to hold the gamepad looks really great on me. My wife loves it. It drives her crazy. Number 8. The Solus Project. Earth has been toasted and you're the sole survivor of an exploration mission to find a replacement planet. Much of the difficulty comes from the details of surviving. Looking for food, staying dry, getting enough sleep, things like that. But I personally played it on 0% difficulty, which removes almost all of the survival elements. For me, that provided the most enjoyment since I could spend my time exploring and getting to know the story instead of fighting for my survival. But if that's your thing, you can certainly play that way. This is the game that originally desensitized my nausea to sliding movement. There is teleportation, but this game requires so much movement that I got tired of constantly pressing trigger to teleport. So I started walking in place during sliding movement, and it went a long way to eliminate the nausea for me. This game has very immersive sound design and atmosphere. It's impressive how quickly you feel alone and in danger. There are some spooky places, and you can violently die, but it never felt terrifying to me like a horror game does. The closest thing to a jump scare I've seen are these fuzzy ball creatures that jump and yell at you. It took me about 10 hours to beat it the first time, so for $20 you get a lot of game for your money. Number 7. Space Pirate Trainer. There are way too many wave shooters in VR right now, and for me, this is the only one I need. It's incredibly polished with a fun soundtrack, multiple weapons, and a nice slowdown effect so you can dodge lasers. The game is just executed really well, and I enjoy playing this over and over again. It's the only wave shooter I need. Number 6. Island 359 is basically a Jurassic Park game. There's an arcade mode which is cool, but for me the mercenary mode is the good stuff. You're dropped off on the island, and it's up to you to kill as many dinos as you can to achieve the high score. As you kill more dinos, you're granted care packages that give you better weapons and upgrades. But you need to make it back to the helicopter alive for your score to be recorded. If you die in the field, you lose everything. I don't like horror games, but I enjoy the startling thrill of raptors running at me or facing a giant T-Rex. This is perfectly suited for repeat playings. Number 5. It seems like everyone is playing Rec Room, and for good reason. There are so many things to play in here, and more games are being added all the time. My personal favorites are the co-op quest games that you play with others to complete a mission, especially Rise of Jumbotron. That one just doesn't get old for me. But there's definitely plenty more to play, like laser tag, paintball, etc. It's crazy to me that this game is free. Number 4. Sairento VR has you living the life of a cyber-enhanced ninja. Take down all the bad guys with your guns and swords in slow motion while performing wall jumps and other acrobatic feats. When I originally reviewed this game, my only 2 wishes were for a campaign story mode and stealth mode. Thankfully, both of those are now implemented, and I love it. It's really fun to start a mission attempting to remain undetected, and then kill them silently for as long as you can. Everything is very well polished here, and you can also play co-op multiplayer. Very addicting. Number 3. XING: The Land Beyond is a visually gorgeous Zen exploration puzzle game. There's no monsters, just you and a beautiful world of puzzles to solve at your own pace. It's a slow and contemplative game, both meditative and challenging. Throughout your journey, you'll come across altars that are like journal entries.
For days I tried to leave this place, on planks of wood I tightly laced. But every time, as if on cue, a terrifying storm would brew.
I really enjoy those as they add depth and tell the story of other souls that have gone before you. It took me about 12 hours to beat the main game, but I'll be playing this again to attempt 100% completion. I greatly enjoy just being in this world. Number 2. SUPERHOT VR. Time moves when you move. This is the closest I found to authentic Matrix-like combat. You'll feel like the ultimate badass taking out the red guys while controlling time. The campaign is almost like a puzzle game, since you'll always have limited resources and you have to be selective with the weapons and props you'll use to take out the red guys. After beating the campaign, there are other play modes. My favorite is Endless. Survive as long as you can against unending streams of bad guys. I personally prefer to play with the original control scheme, which has you squeezing the grip buttons to hold objects, and when you release the grip buttons, that's when you throw them or drop them. You can enable that by going into the beta menu and choosing Original Vive control scheme. Number 1. Fallout 4 VR. I've never played the flat screen version of Fallout 4. This game was completely new to me, and it absolutely blew my mind. No other VR game comes even close to the scope, depth, and detail of this world. The sheer amount of character dialogue alone sets it apart.
So, you two are finally letting me in on this little case of yours. What's the story?
We need help, Piper.
Now, to be fair, no other VR game developer has the resources that Bethesda does, so it's not really fair to compare other VR games to this. But on the other hand, there's no denying how insanely big this game is. After playing for almost 40 hours, I beat the main campaign, but there's still so much more to do in this world. It's potentially endless. There's no other game like this right now. It truly stands alone. Ironically, this is the only game on this list that doesn't support Oculus Rift. For now, it's exclusive to the Vive. Well, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. See ya!